since drugs are addictive and they touch on the pleasure centers of the brain, and some of them happen to be hard on. A lot of these pills are really hard on the liver. So there's usually like a lot of drugs have some bodily function or something, why it ends up turning into this like dramatic thing where, you know, it's not, I don't know, I'm not the type of person to get in anyone's stuff like that. I mess with whoever, depending on different things than what is, you know, kind of judged on. I don't know. I'm kind of immune to all the, like, I'll be around someone if it makes sense. So let's say that it depends. Like someone that's smoking heroin or something, it would really depend on the situation. More based off just kind of anything else they have going on or what kind of person they are. I want to offer them a reality that's fair. So it's stupid, right? But like, unfortunately, that's one of those things is you just have this gross drug habit that all these people are just disgusted with the filth of your sneaky habit. I don't know. It's just kind of... So, anyways, let's move on. Depression, right? On some real stuff. That right there is called square sobriety. You try to talk to people and they give you the same old speech like, yeah, we've heard that stuff, man. No one's going to mess with you until you get sober. We don't want nothing to do with that. The same old thing. We've heard that, man. Get sober. We've heard that same old thing. You know, it's called square sobriety. It kind of helps the same old speeches. But then there's a whole lot of people that don't necessarily contribute by just judging the drug use every time, because someone that hasn't got into it like that or who's never dabbled with anything harder at all, because the harder drugs, like, let's be honest, heroin, meth, cocaine, those kind of main uppers and downers, the harder ones, real bright, happy rushes, are so musical. Like, they're so musical. They have these like beautiful states, like beautiful levels, like beautiful. The kind of, and it's not, people like always say like, oh, it's like an orgasm. Like, not really. It's like its own bright, like you get this like weird smile on your face, like, oh, you know, like opiates, you know, like it's like you feel, depending on the source and where you get it from and all that kind of stuff. Like, so exactly. So like you might be a dreamer and something about that opium or whatever kind of opium product you got, right? You find something musical. Music sounds different on it. There's something beautiful about that state of mind. Like, there's different things. They must think you're just like, like chasing a quick high and it's all like dry. Like it gets retarded with those drugs, because then you're doing coke and you're not, like when you start doing like some drug like that, that's just such a pain. Like, not feeling something anymore starts getting pretty like, okay, so then you'll just sit around detox, you know, and it gets annoying with the neurotransmitters, right? So like, I've had weird different questions of things because I've been sober, or I was sober up until I turned about 17. The worst I did was like in the cycle of 3 months, in the cycle of a month, 2 months, kind of around there. Every couple months, I'd get my hands on some kind of alcohol. And like when I was like young, like just a few beers, it was like stupid. I'd finally find someone to hook me up, and it'd be a sketch beer deal. I got teased one time really hard. We call it 2 for 10. I was like, wow, I got ripped off. 2 for 10, Bud Light Lime. I was like, yeah, I was the guy. And stupid, right? Anyways, someone told me something like, hey, I got some beers. And I was like, huh? Yeah, I'll take them. So, but just my first huge step is just like, because I did used to seek out and do, I mean, there's been two times where I kind of was either close by around a Kansas City area, and I would wonder, I'd see a few characters, I'd kind of be wondering, he might either give me like a big F off, kind of like, get away, kid, you know, yeah, I don't know, man, you know, hey, I don't know, talking to the feds or something, you know, or he would have been like, oh, whatever, what you want, you know. So I was like, kind of like, you know, I have that understanding, but just that's how it gets. Like, so someone that's never really touched any kind of coke, heroin, meth, anything hard at all, doesn't, there's something too beautiful about the state of mind. If you've really touched those, coffee's one thing, coffee's real bright and happy and nice, but oh, you start touching the opiates, it gets so warm and it's so cozy, and it's just like these, it's so musical, and it's starting to make sense. Like, it's such a bright level. And you've seen a lot of musicians have drug habits. A lot of rock stars have had like coke and heroin, or, you know, all kind of, so it you can't just, people might not get that about, like, it's not just this greasy high. Like, it's like, well, why do you do it? Like, they might kind of view it, and they can't feel it the same way you do. They see you making stupid decisions, but like, oh man, they might not get it. Drugs have this weird deprogramming side where, you know, they kind of just start to open you up to different love frequencies and different teleporting different channels of reality. You know, it can get pretty, like, when you're really, like, there's certain drugs that have certain effects that are like Robitussin. I was like messing with Robitussin a lot. I still dabble with it because it has this, oh, but it's a dissociate, you know? So it has like this little ecstasy. You take it at about 100, 120, 150 milligrams, right around there, on an empty stomach with a couple sodas, and just kind of let it sit. And then you'll be smoking cigarettes like a like you'll be smoking cigarettes the whole time. But just like, it looks so retarded, but they just happen to be so artistic. The drugs get so musical, you know? So like, there's that. So I don't want to be just the square sobriety, like, you know, so like in the relationship, like, you know, like actually pissed off, like getting cheesy with them. Like, you know, I saw you relapse. Like, oh, we're not having it, man. You know, you're kicked out of group or something. I don't know. Like, I don't want to be, no, it doesn't, they're forgetting about the, like, why you did it, and what, at least memorize, or like, you know, remembering how mesmerized you were, you know, like how you've had some good times. Like, let's just say that you've had, and there's the aspect of, it's just very relevant because people come in and out of jail all the time for this stuff. That's just real world. People are going in and out of jail for stupid drug charges all the time. They don't stop. You see the same, that it's a money-making business because it's like gold. It's like to some people have the same understanding. It's so easy when you have it. Like, ew, a sack of meth. Ew, throw it away. You know, ew, like a sack of meth. It's like 2 grams in there. It's like methamphetamine. It has shards, bro, glass, you know. Like, if you've never touched that, you might be able to easily just be like, ew, gross. But, like, somehow you know it's meth. You know, some of us, like, well, that could be all night, dude. Like, I could just have that, be snorting that all night and be up to whatever. And it's like heaven on earth. Like, oh, dude, I could have a real fun night. You know, like, it's not even a normal type of reality. It doesn't even, it's too heavenly. Like, it's this bright, happy levels of, like, and each one have these strange, like, different behavioral concerns and tendencies. People have tendencies on these drugs, and you know what I'm saying? So it's funny.